Cliff.
I'm Justin.
Welcome to TheOneRing.net. We'll be back to the show after a few sponsors.
Thank you.
Shut this door. You want this open? Hi. How you doing there?
Ready?
My computer keeps freezing.
Hold on,
freezing.
just sit down.
Are we live?
Yeah.
I couldn't post the story.
And we're back.
Indeed, we
Wasn't
are
that
back.
and I've grown out of frame.
Yes, the frame seems to be.
We're
This is the dwarf scale. We're the scale doubles of Justin and Clifford.
We were the scale doubles.
We're the scale double. Oh wait, we're back to normal height now.
yeah.
Okay, wow, all right.
Mhm.
Massive technology surprises.
That looks amazing.
Well, it is wonderful to have you here, Mr. Justin. Welcome aboard 2 years later.
I know.
Happy 2 years.
It's been 2 years. This is our second anniversary show.
That is the clock
And-
anniversary.
yeah.
Af-
And
Thank you, yes.
that's our studio audience. Love them.
After your first year, that's the paper anniversary. Your second anniversary is clocks.
Clocks?
Clocks, yes, that's your clock anniversary. So we're going to keep on working at it, and another 25 years we'll get to that gold, silver, and then eventually we'll get to that diamond jubilee. After we have anniversaries 25,
What
50 years from now.
what flavor is 75th anniversary?
Platinum, I think.
Platinum?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
I haven't seen a Hobbit Platinum edition yet.
Platinum edition. That used to be the New Line Cinema marketing thing for their Platinum series of DVDs. Remember that?
Was it? I just Platinum is like a
correct.
Disney thing, like Own Beauty and the Beast Platinum Special Edition.
It was New Line Cinema's Platinum edition, quite honestly. And Disney, they did something else, but that's all just marketing stuff. Hello. We say hello to the whole audience, the whole international, worldwide audience, who is one member short tonight. I want to say thank you to Pete Northrunner, who is one of our great stalwarts of our regular weekly audience, but he will no longer be joining us. So we're going to say goodbye, Pete, and thank you for helping out with the crowd control, and thank you for being so supportive and an amazing member of our audience.
Where's Pete?
He has gone off to his church group has a reading book club, and his book club switched from Wednesdays to Tuesdays. And
Oh, so it's
he
just
had,
not
he had
today.
Been, well, he had been missing out on it for weeks, but now he wrote me a special email and said farewell for the meantime, and he's going to be doing his Tuesday night thing with his group. So we'll see you very soon, maybe before the year is out. And, well, look who else is here. We have
hope
Wise
so.
Wizard 9, TF Drums, Shield Maiden of Hobbiton. Oh, there's Gothy. Hello, Goth Mom.
And we're live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific at TheOneRing.net/live. And Torn
Always.
Tuesday, it's everything Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth. We've been doing this for 2 years, and
Yes, we
and
have,
we're
with the ongoing support of all you guys.
just the support of you guys.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely
Yeah.
no support anywhere else.
Meow, meow, meow. No, there is not.
Because we're just fan volunteers, and we love doing this. We love talking with you guys in the chat room at TheOneRing.net/live, and we've been everywhere. We tried YouTube and Ustream and Justin and everything else, and Stickam, rest in peace. But
Oh, how I miss the jolly old days of Stickcam.
right?
When you ordered a cup and you end up getting a pint. Those guys delivered. They delivered the goods. And we have a special guest who may or may not have something to comment on that later on in the show. Hello, Kelly Duck and Tedros. Hey, do you want a clue that Tedros has provided us with a whole new article that we're going to publish later tonight? Guess
Really?
what? I'll give you a sneak preview. He has a bright yellow hat. Bright yellow boots. Excuse me. He has bright yellow boots and a blue hat with a brightly colored yellow feather. And he was named after a children's doll, a toy, that belonged to the Tolkien children.
Really?
Yes, young John Tolkien and young Christopher and Priscilla Tolkien were playing with this little doll, and they called him Tom Bombadil. And Professor Tolkien
Well, I
decided
thought I was getting excited. It was the man in the yellow hat.
that is Tom
I love
Bombadil. He's the man.
Curious George.
Yeah, well, no, that's the
I
wrong
like
hat.
I like monkeys.
The wrong hat. It was a blue hat, and they get that right, yellow boots. But Mr. Tedros has provided an excellent article that you guys will see posted live on TheOneRing.net immediately following our broadcast. Thank you, Ted.
So today we're gonna kind of take a look back at 2 years of doing Torn Tuesdays, and this kind of just started on a whim. We're like, hey, what are you doing Tuesdays? And you had Tuesdays off, and I had Tuesdays off, and it was like, yeah, let's start a live chat show and see what's going on, and it just kind of. Here we are, still doing it.
Yes.
This is our 11th location, and we've got burned through 8 different cameras. And
how many locations really? Oh my gosh,
it's been so many.
We've been outside on the street. We've been in high-rise buildings downtown LA. We're stuffed in an attic right now, where there's some magic portrait absorbing Justin's age.
That's right.
It's right over there.
And
yes.
so
that's where we are.
Right in the Nerdist Theater, in the
Yes.
attic of the Nerd Melt Theater, the Nerd Melt showroom, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, to celebrate 2 years of live streaming this live show every week. If some of you may be watching on YouTube after the fact, we record this live and we chat with everybody live. And the reason it's live and not pre-recorded is because we started on a service called Stickam, which was the first live streaming platform. It had chat and live streaming, and we started one day, and then they said, hey, you guys should keep doing this, and please, how can we help? And we started going to their offices, and then they said, you guys should think about doing Comic-Con, and then and then they were like, we could stream driving across country. I mean, all of our merry adventures,
much to our surprise,
that we've brought to you live were started because of Stickam. So we thought we'd bring in one of the former, I think he was director of business development, I guess, because they considered us a business or something like that.
Well,
I don't know how.
We were more important to their business model than we at first thought. We were providing content that was fan-based and very specific to an audience, and it didn't involve drugs or sex or rock and roll. Although we are fond of all 3 of those things, our show does not contain any of them. So, unless B-Cake is on the air.
Right.
Unless B-Cake is on the air. So we actually brought them good content, and so they supported us.
And they were generous supporters, and we really thought we've messed around with all the services, and they literally were the best. And so it was a sad day earlier this year when they decided to close the business because of market reasons, and so we're we thought let's for our 2-year anniversary, the reason we're here is because of Stickam. So we're bringing in, and we'll talk with one of the heads of Stickam that really kind of helped us through everything. I mean, we've had some amazing adventures, kind of business adventures together. But before we get to that, this is where we started. A showgirl Balrog. That's where we started. That's why all of this started. We were in the parking lot of a Best Buy.
That's our
in
friend
West
Nicole.
LA. We were live streaming out of the blue. I set up an account in the parking lot on my laptop, and we started live streaming this Lord of the Rings costume contest in the parking lot. And in the middle of the parking lot, we had one of the costume contestants was the showgirl Balrog, and suddenly I get a ping in the chat room saying, hey, I'm a moderator at Stickam, and you guys are doing some amazing things. Let's start this. So that's kind of where this all started.
That's fantastic. It really started with the Vegas showgirl Balrog bit that our dear friend Nicole is well known to have done. Do you know what? We're going to show some more mischievous clips of our recent past.
This is from the same night,
you
interviewing Sala Baker.
Who is that tall, dark, and handsome fellow? That's
and
Sala
the white
Baker.
Guy on the right.
And who's the white guy on the right? Yeah. That's the Dark Lord Sauron himself.
That is, the previous Sauron. I think he's going to get replaced by Benedict Cumberbatch in the special edition, extended edition. But that's my crazy wild eye fantasy.
I don't know about that. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. So before we go into the past and take a look back over 2 years of Torn Tuesdays, we just want to give a shout out to potential sponsors. Please help us stay on the air.
Yes.
Like we want to keep doing this, and stuff costs money. Through the gracious support of Meltdown Comics and the Nerdist Theater, we've been able to keep the lights on, literally, because if this light turns off, we've done a couple shows in the dark. It's not fun. So this show happens because the fans make it fun.
I don't know about you, Justin, but me and you and these fans, we can make anything fun.
That's right.
We could read out of a bloody phone book and we could make it fun. We really could. Perhaps we should try that someday. But I'm going to convert all the names to Elvish. If I read from the phone book, guys, I'll do it for you in Elvish if I ever do that. You know what this is what they call a bottle episode on television.
A bottle episode.
Do you know what a bottle episode is? It's when they have an episode which is built around clips and highlights from previous episodes.
Yes. Those were my favorite episodes. Remember Johnny Carson and stuff like that, where they look back. Those every season, like the season wrap up. This is 2 years. It's crazy. But before we look back, let's take a look at what's happening today. And today on our Facebook page, we posted, if you scroll down a little bit,
you've posted quite a few.
Look at this. Amazon.com has 1-star reviews of Lord of the Rings.
There's a reason why.
Read that comment.
I did. I read this entire thing, and I read your draft of the article you were putting up online.
And it says, what's it say?
There's a person on Amazon.com who gets the chance to write his reader reviews at the bottom of the Lord of the Rings page, and he says, I hope the movie is better than the book. The book is not readable because of the overuse of adverbs. It just wasn't well written. Quickly and quietly, swiftly and quietly, etc., etc. And that is an example of one person complaining as if they knew what Professor Tolkien was really doing.
But the fact that Lord of the Rings has 1-star reviews is crazy. But the article that hopefully we'll get to posting later makes the point that your parents always told you, don't ever judge a book by its cover. But the reality is, people do do judge things by their covers, and all of those 1-star reviews are reviews of the cover and the paper and the actual printed material. They're not talking about the content of the
Except
story.
For that one that I read. That's just one example of one that I read about someone complaining about Tolkien's writing.
Right, and I think that's tongue in cheek because of all the other. But so the presentation is as much important as the content when it comes to sales. When it comes to growing your fan base and winning awards, then it's all content. It's all the quality of your content. But when it comes to sales, presentation is 50%, I'd say.
There have been comments from around the internet about other editions of The Lord of the Rings which are better than others. And this takes me back in time to the 60s when there was an illegal paperback edition. An illegal, you could say, pirated version of Lord of the Rings that was published in paperback in the height of the 60s craze by Ace Publishers.
Okay.
They found a legal loophole.
Teteris has that one, Ace.
Yes. Teteris does have. A lot of us do have that. I think I have a copy at home myself. And we commented on that in our documentary film, Ringers, Lord of the Fans. But at the time, they found a legal reason in the contracts of copyright law that allowed them to do that because it was offshore publishing. And they exploited...
Offshore publishing.
Yeah, like offshore drilling. And they exploited the hell out of that until there was a grassroots fan response from the fans, most of them in Berkeley, California.
Of course.
Students.
The hippies.
Students. The great counterculture of America was in full swing. And they protested booksellers who carried the illegal copies of Ace. And then when Ballantine Books got around to re-typesetting and releasing a new and fully authorized version of Lord of the Rings, Tolkien added his own note on the back cover.
Really?
A special note from Professor Tolkien himself, and you can find it on the back of the book, and it says, "For those who approve of courtesy, at least courtesy to living authors, will buy this edition and no other." And Tolkien wrote that because he was very well aware of what was going on. Fascinating. Thank you for reminding me of that, guys.
We need to get I want to build a OneRing library here at Meltdown of like all the
Yes.
different versions, legal or not.
Wouldn't
that be fun?
I have that library at home myself. I have every possible edition. I have illustrated, non-illustrated, hardcover, softcover, snakeskin cover. I've got every single book cover and
But-
an edition of Silmarillion, History of Middle-earth series, and The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Speaking of, what's the world's best edition of The Hobbit? This one, the annotated Hobbit, annotated by my friend Douglas Anderson. Buy it, love it,
What
absorb
publisher?
it. The publisher? Oh, jeez, man, are you serious? It's Houghton Mifflin. Everything in America that is Tolkien is Houghton Mifflin.
That's right.
Houghton Mifflin.
And
That's right.
and Houghton
Houghton.
Houghton
Houghton Mifflin.
Mifflin
Yeah. Houghton Mifflin.
now has increased or decreased competition because Penguin has merged with Random House.
Oh, that's going to be a whole bit of confusion now. isn't
So
it?
now, Houghton Mifflin is not the biggest book publisher in America. It's kind of crazy. This is all breaking news.
Very interesting. Yes, it is. Cliff, do you have the green book cover? Hello, Wise Wizard 9. Okay, you're talking about Tolkien's original green book cover. That is something I would really, really love to have, but I do not have that.
Speaking of Tolkien, we've got, if you scroll down there,
Oh, yes.
but you know, books is the marketing of books, the publishing of books, and the covers and everything is really important. And we're going to talk about. You tap on the picture so it gets full screen.
Yes.
But for instance, Cliff did Ringers, Lord of the Fans, a huge documentary, won a bunch of awards at a bunch of festivals, sold to Sony. It's on iTunes and everything like that. But who is on the cover of your movie, of your own movie? Who is on the cover, and who do you not really see in the entire show? Like, you hear his voice, but you don't actually see it.
Let's see.
Dominic Monaghan
Yes.
narrates his entire movie.
That's right.
And
yes.
he's full half the cover. I mean, he is the cover, Dominic Monaghan. But you don't actually ever see him in any new footage in the documentary. But, you know, the experts at Sony, and rightly so, said that guy, Dominic Monaghan, will sell copies.
Yes.
And he did.
He did in the American market. In the Canadian and American marketplace, the Ringers documentary had Dominic on the cover. In the European release, he does not appear except on the back cover.
Dom sells DVDs. That's right,
Yes,
Kelly Duck.
Yes, Kelly Duck.
So-
at least in Europe, they have a different approach to marketing.
So speaking of covers, this is one of the most famous covers.
And look who's on it. Yeah.
It's even on the annotated thing.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about this version is that no one had really noticed that Bilbo is in the corner. This
I
is
noticed that.
drawn by the hand of the professor himself, J.R.R. Tolkien.
Painted watercolor, actually. Professor Tolkien was not just an accomplished linguist and an author and an Oxford Don. He was also a really talented watercolorist and an illustrator.
And so this is Tolkien drawing his own dragon.
Yes.
This is it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. This is what is in the author's mind's eye.
Yes.
And all this conjecture of Peter Jackson changing things from the book and everything like that. You know what? Look at this dragon and then look at John Howe and Alan Lee's dragons. Which one do you prefer? I think most people will say probably John Howe. I'm just taking a wild guess. They respect Tolkien's version here, but when it comes to actually like feeling the full impact of a dragon, it's other people's interpretations. And
Well, now you're talking about a version of a dragon that Tolkien created in 1937. This is what could dragons be like in popular culture? Well, what they are now in 2013 is certainly not how they were represented in 1937. It's almost, 75
That's a dragon if I've ever have seen a dragon.
76 years ago.
The dragons have not changed much. I mean,
yes, they have. Are you kidding? There's a great variety of dragons.
I mean, if they did gain some weight in the 70s. Pete's dragon was pretty fat
with tiny little wings that were absurd. But no, there are dragons of all kinds in popular arts and entertainment. But
so that dragon is what the professor imagined.
Yes. This is what Tolkien had in mind, and you can see the little invisible Bilbo with his ring on, appearing in a little cloud of invisibility, right there near the dragon, having that famous conversation that they have.
That's right.
I'm very interested in what Mr. Jackson is going to do with that
I don't want to see that dragon animated. I don't. I think it works if that's what the professor envisioned. That's fine. But I really am looking forward to new interpretations of this dragon, and so are a lot of people. Not just the interpretation in the movie, but merchandising. There were hundreds of messages on Twitter and Facebook this weekend, with people coming up with the craziest ideas for merchandise. Dragon merchandise. I want dragon mugs and dragon door knockers and dragon door handles and dragon fire starters and barbecue starters and dragon beer steins and dragon ADT security systems and for burglars. Keep the burglars out with your Smaug ADT home security.
Funny. You are funny. What have you been smoking today?
So I'm saying that after this dragon comes out, overwhelmingly at Comic-Con, this proved it. At Comic-Con, we took a poll by hands at the panel. We said how many people wish they hadn't seen the dragon, and 90% of people raised their hand. So
yes, they did.
It don't show us any more of the dragon, but after the movie's out, give us everything. We want everything dragon. Everything. I want a nice dinner table set where there's like a dragon on a pile of gold in the middle, and there's like pieces of treasure or like the salt and pepper and stuff. And if you steal the salt and pepper, like he grunts at you, or he says something in that Benedict Cumberbatch voice, or a Teddy Ruxpin type talking doll with Benedict Cumberbatch's voice.
Are you out of your gourd?
I can't wait for this. Out of your gourd. All I want to do is hear Benedict. I want all the dragon stuff that I can get.
Before the Fellowship of the Ring first came out, I had nightmares that they were going to give us a Gandalf standing at the well of where Balin's tomb is, the chamber of Mazarbul. And I thought there was going to be an automatic battery-operated coin bank where you could drop your pennies and your coins into the well right next to the Gandalf, and it would go, "Fool of a took!" every time you dropped in a quarter. That was one of my nightmares. Look, the merchandising is going to go off the chain. It's going to go to the point of disgusting. You don't need to encourage them. You don't need to give them any encouragement, buddy. I mean,
you know what?
You want a fireplace dragon lighter?
If all of the collectibles and toy manufacturers, if anybody that's licensed The Hobbit, you can keep all the other stuff off the shelves. Give us dragons. Maybe give us a plush Bjorn bear or something like that, but keep all the little dwarf action figures. And we've seen enough Gandalf for the last 12 years. You can
never get enough Gandalf.
You can get enough Gandalf.
No, you can't.
Where is Gandalf?
Where's Gandalf?
We don't even know.
Gandalf shows up in the last 3 minutes of The Wolverine in an airport with Charles Xavier, and you know what?
Spoiler.
It's the best thing in the whole movie. It's the best thing.
Where is Fandalf though? We don't even know.
The mystery of Fandalf, I don't know.
We have again, we've had enough hobbits and dwarves. Give us dragons and bears. That's stuff I want to buy.
Okay, look. You do not need to worry about the crazy influx of merchandising. They're going to go off the chain with that, and they're going to be focusing on elves a lot. This film, a lot of elf toys, elves in the Legos, elves in the video games. Elves on the baseball caps, whatever. They're probably going to create some kind of a crown of heather and thorns that'll look just like Lee Pace's
but here's the thing.
Flowering crown that sticks up like this behind his head.
We know that the Battle of the Five Armies is in the third movie. So we do know that. Those are the figures that you want. The battle-ready elves. and the warg riding dwarves.
Yes.
Like, those are the figures you want. The action pose. Right now, for the second movie merchandise, I want bears and dragons. Save all the other elves and dwarf stuff for the third movie. It's okay. We'll buy it then. But this Christmas, I want dragons.
This Christmas, it's about the sudden re-emergence of Orlando Bloom, who hasn't had a Pirates movie in quite a while. So there's going to be a lot of focus on him, I guarantee.
And his twin brother, Bard the Bowman.
Oh, yes. Will Turner. I mean, Bard the Bowman. Yes. That's funny.
I wish that they would have cast Orlando Bloom as Bard the Bowman as in a dual role, because it seems like there's so many actors. So many actors have had dual roles. Jed Brophy had dual roles. John Rhys Davies had dual roles. Benedict Cumberbatch has dual roles. There's a ton of dual roles, and Bard the Bowman looks like the Pirates of the Caribbean guy.
Will Turner.
Will Turner.
No, I don't.
Spitting image.
Nope.
Spitting image.
Not entirely.
And he lives on a boat.
The character has
in a water in the middle of a lake.
The character of Bard has completely different temperament. He has a family. He has lineage. He is a completely different character. And
Will Turner has the family.
I guarantee
he sees him once every 10 years.
That Luke Evans, after the curse is laid on him in the end of the third film. But you're way ahead of that franchise, buddy. Let me tell you something. Luke Evans is an actor you can trust to deliver the goods. The fact that he has a little bit of facial hair and a little bit of a hairstyle is the only extent of the similarity to that character.
I think we're going to get more backstory. That's a good question, Moira, or whatever.
Moir.
I hope we get a backstory for Bard. I think we're going to get more of Bard than anybody anticipates. I think he has a critical key role to play in this trilogy. I think there's a reason that his son, Bard's son, has a significant role in this movie that will pay off in the next. I think we're going to get more Bard. And so I think that's a good thing.
We will. And I suspect that in the third film, I don't think that you're correct about asking Orlando Bloom to play both roles. In fact, the absurdism of that I'm going to let lie on the floor. Let's go on to the third film. Let's talk about...
Randy Thrandy, the Party King? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay, what?
I need a t-shirt that says Randy Thrandy, the Party King.
Randy Thrandy. Oh,
Thranduil.
A Thranduil. Randy Thrandy. I like that. You know what?
Right?
Yuki Toshi, you are my new friend. I like that. It's a good joke. But let me tell you something. The third film, which we know will contain the Battle of the Five Armies, and I know that the people who are listing credits in IMDb are either Warner Brothers or the casting directors, who are the people responsible for putting those actors in those roles. Well, guess what? Benedict Cumberbatch does not have a credit on the IMDb for the third film playing Smaug. Smaug does not exist in the credits of the third film. Only Benedict Cumberbatch listed as Necromancer, the only character Mr. Cumberbatch plays. So that means that, according to IMDb credits listing, Smaug dies in the second film. Hopefully, they'll at least do that to give the film proper story structure and resolution in the third act.
And it would make sense because at the end of the second movie, The Two Towers, you had the great defeat at Helm's Deep, and that was kind of the rallying cry for Sauron to take over. You know, it was like, oh, like Saruman failed me. Saruman was set up in the second movie. It's like the armies of Saruman are marching on Helm's Deep, and we're going to defeat the lineage of men in Rohan, and they got wiped out. And Sauron came in the third movie. You didn't even see Saruman in the theatrical version.
You did not.
No. So
so
there was
no Christopher.
There was a complete got the bad guy, and then the bad guy fails, and then you didn't even see him in the third movie. I think that's what's going to happen this time around. You've got Smaug, the bad guy. He's going to come to a complete resolution at the end of the second movie, which is only going to set up for the third movie the reason for the more epic battle, because just like the third Return of the King, the more epic battle came about because Saruman failed. So here we go. It's parallels and similarities.
Interesting, but guess what else I think we need to bear in mind? Even though I I have to shoot down some of your crazy ideas sometimes.
Right.
You have had one great idea recently that I'm going to support.
Just one.
At least. A big one. The third film, I think, that you have suggested many, many times is going to be more of a bridge film. That third film may indeed have less Hobbit material in it, because after all, the Battle of the Five Armies will be done probably in the first hour of the movie, maybe. Then you've got Bilbo going home, and he doesn't have any adventures going home, he just goes home. Professor Tolkien doesn't even write anything except, oh, Bilbo had a nice journey home, and that was it. That's about it. I think the third film may have more bridge material connecting the tissues of the first trilogy and the second trilogy than I ever suspected.
So let me ask you, and that's a good question.
Weird. It's going to be weird and interesting.
Let's ask the chat room. Did you guys appreciate the 7 endings or whatever it was at the end of Return of the King?
Yeah.
Where it was like the big epic ending, you know, my friends, you bow to no one. I'm like, oh, tears. Just roll the credits. But then they like showed everybody going back to Hobbiton and everything like that. I appreciate the setting sail scene, but everybody else going back to Hobbiton and showing the kids and showing the babies be born and that's kind of like, I don't want that out of this third Hobbit film. Like, don't just like have Bilbo go back and Bilbo went on and led a happier life until. So I don't don't end it the same way. End it at that bridge material, show the dwarves going to Moria and all that stuff.
Murtaugh, that's going to happen in the second film. The whole deal with the Arkenstone is going to happen in the second film. Okay? No, what else do we have here? Andy1233. I needed to pee when I first watched it in the cinema, so no, I didn't appreciate them. Laughing my ass off. But I think for the story arc, they are needed. Interesting point.
So there was a
we all needed to pee during a 3-hour Peter Jackson film. We all have to go to the bathroom at least once. You know, the problem is finding the right time in that 3-hour jaunt where you can run to the bathroom and run back.
The only time I suggest doing it is anytime they're talking at the top of the cliff while they're preparing the armies of Rohan. That's like any of those scenes is like bathroom break.
Dwina, the last movie in North America to be theatrically released with an intermission during its running time was The Last Emperor.
That's right.
Best Picture winner, amazing film, a bit of a snooze in the middle parts, but it's still an amazing film, and you can see China like never before.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Richard Gere in King David?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie had an intermission. A couple of years after that, The Last Emperor had an intermission, and that's it. No other North American films even have them anymore, because movie theater owners can't stand it. They just can't deal with that.
It's too much hassle, and it keeps people
hassle.
too many things. So what else is going on? You know, a couple cool things on Twitter this week. For some reason, randomly, Ron Perlman started following us.
And you
I'm freaking out.
You bombed a revelation on me that I didn't know.
Yeah, Ron Perlman was originally cast as Bjorn.
How did you figure out that? Bjorn was originally going to be...
When Guillermo del Toro...
Ron Perlman.
Guillermo del Toro guaranteed that role to Ron Perlman.
He did.
When Guillermo was going to direct The Hobbit. Ron Perlman would have made a wonderful Bjorn.
Yes, he would have. He would have made a very... He would have made a very American
whatever
Bjorn.
Mikhail Persbrandt does, I have in my mind now, Ron Perlman would have done a better job.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. Come on.
So the question is, there's been a lot of conjecture that since the trailer that there's 2 bears. And the bear that we see in the trailer is actually another bear that
is attacking.
That is attacking, and then Bjorn comes and saves the dwarves.
That's as likely as any other thing.
And so let's expand on that a bit more. Again, complete conjecture. We don't even know if there's 2 bears. What if the second bear is Ron Perlman? And what if the real Bjorn, Mikhail Persbrandt? This could happen. It could be. Why would Ron Perlman start following the One Ring net?
I think Andy has a good point. In the original book, there are loads of bears outside sniffing at the door. And we don't know... Oh, well, here it is. Excuse me, I love these 3D glasses. I got these wonderful 3D glasses with the key of...
Why are you telling me to shush?
Who's saying shush?
Kelly Duck.
Kelly, the more he talks, the funnier it gets. So it gives me fuel for the fire. So let him talk. Let him talk.
What does that mean?
I'm here in the chapter where Bjorn shows up. And I think there might be a mention of, Bilbo can hear them. Yeah, Andy is talking truth. Truth to power, Andy. I have the original copy that Tolkien wrote. Yeah, and it looks like here that Bilbo can hear the sounds of all kinds of creatures out in the darkness. There you go, Bjorn.
You know what I thought would be cool after all these movies are out on DVD? Maybe re-edit the films and add like chapter markers. You know, like the black screen with the white text, like the old silent movies used to do, with the chapters of the book. Wouldn't that be kind of fun? Maybe reshuffle the movie so it feels more like the book. I don't know. While he's looking that up,
I'm looking this up real quick.
Well, we also started to discuss this weekend. Do the dwarves of Erebor, because they live and work under a mountain, do they go by the sun cycle? Do they sleep when normal people sleep during the night? Obviously, there are some dwarves that are in international trade, and their body clocks will be attuned to the neighboring humans and elves and things like that. But did the dwarves underground, did they have, what's their circadian rhythm? And we didn't really get an answer out of that.
Here we go.
All right,
this is Bjorn saying, "I have been picking out bear tracks," he said at last. "There must have been a regular bears meeting outside here last night." Oh, you know what? It's actually not Bjorn who says this. It's Gandalf. Gandalf is reporting back to Bilbo and the dwarves saying, "I soon saw that Bjorn could not have made all those tracks. There were far too many of them. And there were various sizes, too. I should say there were little bears, large bears, ordinary bears, and gigantic big bears, all dancing outside from dark until dawn." Fascinating. They came from almost every direction, except from the west over the river, from the mountains. In that direction, only one set of footprints led. None coming, only ones going away from here. So Gandalf was outside looking at bear tracks and realized that there were lots of bears outside, and that is why Bjorn warns them, do not open the bloody door. So maybe what we see is one of the other bears attacking them. Yes?
Joanna is asking, didn't I not want re-edits? No, I never said that. I'm just saying that re-edits are inevitable.
Inevitable?
Inevitable. I guarantee we're going to have a re-edited Lord of the Rings.
Famous last words. Re-edited Lord of the Rings. Now, do you really think that the marketplace for home video, which is questionable these days, do you think that they're going to ask audiences to triple dip and quadruple dip and repurchase the same movie again?
Yeah, and we will, because it'll include 10 minutes of different stuff.
And the whole Lucas model of doing business?
That connect the prequel trilogy of The Hobbit to the original trilogy of Lord of the Rings.
Brighter Moon, thank you, Neil. Neil, who's a wonderful supporter of our show. And look, there's Goldberry, hello, and there's a lot of other fans here. Stargate Geek, hi, Emily. Brighter Moon says PJ will not do a Lucas. So there seems to be some contention among the fan base about whether this is really going to happen. I have, do we have more dragons to show? We have had a lot of conversation about the looks of the dragons. Who started that Twitter conversation today about all the dragons in Tolkien legends?
I think that was Larry.
Was that Larry starting
Yeah.
that? Yes. We were talking about the dragon from Farmer Giles of Ham, and we were talking about all the dragons in the Silmarillion.
Do you think they should put Martin Freeman in the Fellowship prologue? Absolutely. That's one of the things that I think are going to be updated. I think that the mouth of Sauron and everything Sauron is going to be used. The voice of Sauron throughout the entire 6 movies is going to be Benedict Cumberbatch.
I see you.
And I think Murtaugh is right. I think Martin Freeman is going to replace a younger Ian Holm when they're flashback to Gollum's cave and stuff like that. So, but anyway, we've got a really cool special guest with us to celebrate our 2-year anniversary episode. Someone that's been with us since day one. I mean, it really hasn't. This wouldn't be possible without him, and we'll talk more about that. But before we do that, we have a special surprise for you.
Do we have a special surprise?
Yes.
We do?
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you, Halbody Lass and Luna Rising and Goldberry. I agree with all of you. Thank you. What's the special surprise that you have?
If it'll play.
What on earth?
Ah, jeez.
What are you gonna show? What are you gonna show?
It's a little video.
Is it a video of me on the Jamie Kennedy experiment doing I Don't Think So?
Oh no, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. I would have
forgot
guessed.
about that.
If that's the one thing you want to do to embarrass me, then that would probably be it.
Now people know what to look up on YouTube.
It's not on
This
YouTube.
won't change. Gosh.
Uh-oh, the clip is not playing. Okay, guys, hold on. He's trying to bring up a specific
We're almost there.
itty-bitty clip from the itty-bitty clip library.
Itty bitty clip library.
Yes, there's some jiggery-pokery going on here.
Is it? Nope, not that button.
You know,
What button is it? This button?
what do you...
Nope, not that button. This.
What's going on here? Something is about to happen.
Oh well, it's not working. I'm just trying to play the video back that's in DDR2
DDR2. Okay,
or DDR1. The one that starts off black.
So is it the number 10 or which one is it?
Yeah,
oh goodness.
the one that's queued up right now.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hi, Clip and Justin. We just wanted to say congratulations on 2 years worth of Tour Tuesday. Yes, we know what an effort it is for you guys to do this every single week. So on.
Okay, we're still trying to get the technical jiggery-pokery worked out, guys. Thanks for bearing with
Hi,
us.
Clip and Justin. We just wanted to say congratulations on.
Can
2
hear it,
years
but
worth
don't
of
see
Tour
it.
Tuesday. Yes, we know what an effort it is. For
They
you
can
guys
hear
to
it.
do this every
All right, you want to
week.
come sit
So
down?
On behalf of the Hobbit and all the fans of Florida, thank you.
Oh, the mics are live.
What was that? I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it, but everybody it was the Happy Hobbits saying thank you for 2 years.
Oh, that's nice. That's really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
I saw them say something, and then they bowed very nicely.
Can you scoot over a little bit?
I can.
Are we live? Hey!
We're live.
How's it going, everybody?
We got to make room for all of his big muscles and
Oh, yeah.
all the room that
There
it
we go.
takes. Hello there, everybody. Welcome
There we go.
to our show. The very talented Efren, who is one of the original guys from Stickcam, who made all that stuff happen. He was our godfather, our guardian angel, our Jiminy Cricket, if you will, who steered us on the right path through those days of Stickcam. Well, it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? Gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. 2
Two
years
th-
ago. Well, you guys are far too kind.
Efren
Thank you
Toscano,
all- Thank you all for having me on your show today.
now the head guy at Tech Zulu, which is something you
Always
guys
been
should...
the head guy.
Always.
Founder,
Always.
right? You
Founder
Yeah,
and
yeah.
head.
Founder of Tech Zulu.
El Jefe. He's the El Jefe.
Correct.
This guy, what we are to kind of Lord of the Rings and Hobbit fans, Efren is to the tech startup scene in LA, like what they call Silicon Beach.
Silicon Beach.
I don't know if it's quite the equivalent, but
Everybody
yeah.
knows your name.
But yeah, people know who Tech Zulu is, for sure. But once again, yeah, thanks for having me aboard, you guys. Always a pleasure. Love hanging out with you guys and always being a part of it from the beginning. 2 years ago, what happened here?
Oh, you're
Am I
just
messing
touching.
around?
You're
Oh,
just
sorry.
touching the screen.
So, but yeah, so 2 years ago when you guys came to Stickcam and you guys started doing your stuff, it was really fun to watch you, go on the road to Dragon Con. That was one of the amazing ones. San Diego Comic Con was always really fun, and just anything you guys are doing on Stickcam was really, really fun to watch.
As opposed to like what was usually on Stick, because
Well,
like
there
we
was-
were all
there
over
was
the
a lot of
place.
stuff. There was a lot of stuff on Stickcam. And
Whoa, where are you going with
I
that?
I tried my best to bring quality content,
That
to,
would be
to the
us.
platform.
That would be us.
What was your title?
I was director of business development and also lead producer of live productions.
Okay,
Indeed.
so we were kind of like look like a business, even though we're all volunteers.
But it wasn't like I said, I was trying to bring quality content, which what you guys were producing,
Oh,
to
that's
the
a
platform.
compliment of the highest order. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I remember that we were doing this live stream for the Blu-ray release, the very first Blu-ray release of Lord of the Rings, and we were in the parking lot of a Best Buy, and we just started streaming, and then someone came in and said, "You guys, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys are crazy." And then that just kind of started this whole
One of the
dialogue. I think it might have been Andy, and then that just kind of like, hey, you guys should. I said, I want to meet you guys. Like, you guys are downtown.
Yeah, and then you guys were fortunately here in LA, so we're like, come on down to our offices. We'd love to.
Swanky offices. I mean, we did our show. You guys were generous enough to let us do our show.
More than happy to provide when we can.
And
when we could.
Yeah,
I should say.
and this wonderful, like, overlooking LA, and there were many times where I was out on a film shoot, so Cliff had to do the show alone, and who was his technical producer for those days?
I was sometimes. Sometimes it was Joe. Sometimes it was Andy. But then, Cliff was able to do it on his own after like the first. Like 5 times.
Yes, indeed.
He got the hang of it, and he was able to do it on his own.
Because it was that easy to figure out.
A lot of people here say I really loved the Stickcam app, and people say I miss Stickcam.
Oh,
and
so do I.
You're getting a lot of feedback from people who really did.
It was a
appreciate
surprise. It was not only a surprise to viewers, it was a surprise to us, and I think it was kind of a surprise to the employees that this was happening. What do you think made Stickcam kind of stand out?
I really think it was the people behind Stickcam. At least I felt we were very, very, very aware of our users and providing quality service and just like customer service to everybody that we possibly could. And just putting ourselves out there. If you needed any help, like, feel free to reach out. Like, we would give people our phone numbers and our personal email addresses, and then of course there were some crazy people, but just like any other network, and then you just kind of ignore those people. But for the most part, people who really did need some help or really needed, or wanted to put their content on the homepage or anything like that, and if it was quality enough, we would definitely help them out and give them some viewers, and it was all about the people. Yeah.
And it was about a lot of the celebrities. I mean, you hooked us up with Andrew WK at Comic-Con because he was in the Stickam family. Like, who else was in the Stickam kind of family?
Oh, there was all kinds of people. That, like, besides Andrew WK, we had Vans and all the Vans Warped Tour bands, because we would do Vans Warped Tour almost every year.
I loved Vans. When I was a kid, I would buy Vans and wear them.
Yeah, Vans has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
1960. What's the year? 69s or 68?
Yeah, really.
Something like that.
Yeah. All the surfer kids were wearing Vans in high school.
And people still, they're one of the biggest skateboarding shoe companies and stuff like that. But yeah, so Vans and Levi's was another big one that we had, and they produced a lot of great content. They did a lot of benefit concerts and stuff like that we helped them produce. There's just a lot of up and coming artists had their start there, like
even some classic '90s artists. The guy from Cypress Hill had his show.
That's right, Be Real.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Be Real
had his show on there for a very long time.
Yeah, he had a daily show,
and he had his own website that we helped him kind of build out, and had our player embedded on there, and had his own little community going on.
Insane in the membrane.
That's right, yeah.
Cat's insane. He's got no brain. Oh, sorry.
What?
It's in the hat. He keeps it in the hat.
See what I have to put up with all the time?
It's a nice hat. I like that hat, though.
It is.
Yeah, see?
He keeps his spare brain
I'm not
reserves
crazy.
in the hat.
And the Happy Hobbits were freaking out the first time they came down here because they're huge fans of Flula.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Flula Borg was another one.
Oh yeah.
He is quite the character and a very, very talented, smart man. If you ever get a chance to speak to Flula Borg, definitely do so.
Do I recall Mr. Pauly Shore?
Yes.
Also doing
Pauly
a Stickcam show?
Pauly Shore was another semi-regular.
See, guys, we were in the mix with all these A-listers. Stickcam was the golden era.
And
It really
you know,
was. Golden era.
It was.
with Stickam, because it just worked everywhere. Like we were able to, our first get. Remember, like we started this podcast, it was just you and me chatting, and once in a while we'd Skype with someone like Peter Beagle or something like that. And then our
Gosh, that was
first
great
get,
stuff, yeah.
our first get was this guy, Sean. We went to his
Oh,
house.
yeah.
Oh yes, we did.
Wasn't that crazy?
That was
and we were like,
wonderful.
"How's this gonna work?" And Efren was like, "Well, you can try these new Sprint 4G cards, maybe." And
Yeah, that's when the whole Wi-Fi hotspots and stuff like that started coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. We love Sprint, by the way, and we hate AT&T. Just have to
this
say
guy,
that out loud.
This guy does. I love AT&T. My 4G LTE, AT&T
You know what?
iPhone 5.
There is no crucible in hell hot enough for AT&T. May they die the death of 1,000 flies.
And next month,
Just had to say that. Thank you.
sponsored by AT&T.
Yeah.
The opinions expressed
Yeah.
herein are those of the respective people that do not represent TheOneRing.net or anything.
Oops. Sorry, look, candid moment there, but all right.
If you're considering the road to Dragon Con, he's not coming. So his opinions are his own.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, we love you, AT&T. Yes, sponsor us. Yeah.
you know, one of the cool things, one of the first big events that we were live streaming from was Comic-Con 2011.
Yeah.
And that was the very first time that anyone had live streamed from the red carpet, and you know, we got Richard Armitage.
Is this the part where Richard falls into my eyes at the same time I'm falling into his eyes? Is this?
And he talks to Silmarillion for 10 minutes.
He does.
Amazing.
It was like talking to Bobby De Niro after, he had a really good cup of coffee. It was really intense. It was a really intense interview. It was awesome. That was great.
And you know, and then when we talked about Dragon Con, we're like, we want to drive to Dragon Con. And
Oh yeah, that was the first year when I got you guys the Live View backpack. Right?
yeah, so
Yeah.
so what's the story behind that?
The
How did the road to Dragon Con happen?
So I don't know how you guys know how.
Well,
the
wait, it was kind of, well, we weren't gonna. I wasn't interested in driving unless we could live stream it.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I'm not gonna drive across the country and back again if I can't entertain people, right?
Yeah.
So,
And so-
I wasn't interested at all. And then
so you guys came to us and we're like, okay, well, you guys can try to do it with the Wi-Fi hotspots, but you're probably going to be dropping off everywhere, so it might not be the best option. Luckily, we had some pretty good connections with this company called LiveView, which is a live streaming backpack. It essentially has every single Wi-Fi hotspot built into it. So no matter where you are, and they kind of have fail-safe each other.
it's literally a physical backpack, and it's got Sprint, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile,
Clear, I think, as in
and Clear, like all wired together in this special backpack. And like if one fails, the other picks up.
And the company LiveView certainly got their launch with marathons and other triathlons and endurance athletic events.
Things that were like
Yeah.
hours and hours long.
Things that were that long, where the athletes really did have to go cross country and across larger distances and miles, and that kind of a portability and continued connectivity was important for giving them the coverage that they needed. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that is correct.
Yes, indeed. That was really clever what they did, and we succeeded in our road trip across the country.
A little farther than anyone anticipated.
Was that our greatest innovation on this show, that nobody else had ever done a live cross-country show?
On Stickam, yes. Yeah, nobody else that I know of had ever done a
Yes.
cross-country live stream like that.
Here's to innovation.
Innovation.
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7.
Like we didn't stop for hotels
yeah,
that year.
even
Hardly, hardly.
You guys even took it out to Yellowstone, right? And had
Yeah.
coverage in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yes, we did.
and through the national parks of Utah and the wonderful landscapes
The
and
geysers.
and
you did the geysers
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Oh, that was the next year. We didn't
that was-
have.
oh.
we
Oh
didn't
yeah,
have Live View
Yellowstone
then.
was the next year.
That was
The
next
first year we had that angry sheep that was trying, like, ready to pounce on us.
There was a sheep in the Zion National Park in Utah that nearly came after somebody named Grimlock, who was doing something off the beaten path, like
And
egging on the wildlife.
And we didn't make it through the storm. And that was crazy because here we're driving through a hurricane.
The hurricane, yes.
Through Alabama, and we're still live streaming.
We did. We did. That was a bit of a...
Like, there were overturned tractor trailers under 10 feet of water. I remember you flipping out like white knuckle. Oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah, it was
I've never seen you like
it was a
get
bit
crazy.
That was a bit of a white knuckle ride. I felt like I was in Twister. All of a sudden, that movie Jan de Bont made, it came to life, and we were in the midst of a real freakish hurricane.
We
there
drove
were
through it.
Very strong.
Was it? They was asking, was it Hurricane Isaac or?
I think it was the remnants of Isaac. It was
It was the remnants of Isaac. Yes.
2011.
Thank you, Luna Rising. And to get back to an earlier question from the chat room a few minutes ago, no, I do not know the broadcast date of The Quest. That new TV show that's going to be on ABC?
ABC. They just started filming this month,
So, yeah,
they're
we
gonna
don't know the
film for the
premiere
next
date.
30
You guys tried out for it, right?
We did.
We
You guys
did.
get
We
on it?
helped cast and know.
We got into the
did.
second and third rounds of auditions when had
he did.
a lot of talk with the producers and sent in a lot of videotapes. You know what? Maybe someday, somewhere in the world, we will release my Quest audition footage.
You should.
It's
We should.
very funny. If I say so myself, it's very
And maybe
funny.
in the second or third season you'll get cast because our spies inside the Quest tell us that pretty much the entire cast look like Bachelor and Bachelorette candidates.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean pretty folks from beautifulbartenders.com, right?
Model
Yes.
Mayhem.
Modelmayhem.com,
Model Mayhem.
yes.
You know, but once we were live streaming with the live view, and I had no idea about this company until Stickam was like, "Oh, take this backpack." It was kind of like an elvish gift of infinite rope and food. It was just like, here's unlimited data. Here you go.
Yeah.
We sure did. That was great.
Yeah.
And we set some records, I believe, on.
Yeah. You guys are definitely used up a lot of bandwidth. But luckily,
did.
The live view was very supportive.
We love live view.
It said,
We always
it said,
did.
No problem, guys. It was awesome. It was great coverage.
And we gave Live View the best coverage and exposure that we could have possibly given them. We told an entire nation of geeks about how wonderful Live View is, and may the hair on their toes never fall out. Yes. So, ladies and germs, do you guys have any questions right now for our estimable guest, Mr. Efren Toscano?
We've got some of the stuff that we were live streaming. I mean, remember the dance party at Dragon Con with that? Who's that Irish band? That Celtic band?
Emerald Rose.
Emerald Rose.
They are the most popular Celtic band in the the southeastern states, and they're
Were they the
fantastic.
same ones that you guys had the dance-off party with?
At
It was one of the Comic Cons. You guys had like a dance-off party. And you guys were streaming it.
yeah, that was
that one?
at Emerald Rose.
They were at Dragon Con.
Dragon
Dragon
Con.
Con.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh,
Yes,
and,
that's right.
And then the next year, which was 2012, we live streamed via iPad for the first time.
Is that Mr. Billy
And
Boyd?
Billy Boyd was
Gosh, I'm-
freaking out about the iPad because
Look
of
at
the
him.
chat room. He was just like, this chat room's amazing. Like it was just blowing everybody's mind that we're walking around with an iPad.
Where was that at? Was that at?
That was at Dragon
At Dragon
Con.
Con too. Yeah.
So what? So you guys were one of the first to have iPhone and iPad apps that actually worked
That worked.
With a
yes.
built-in chat. It
Yeah.
was fantastic.
with the built-in chat.
No one else can seem to do that right. You guys did it right the first time, and I think it's amazing.
Well, thank you.
welcome.
I had my reservations about the app, but
It worked.
But it worked.
It worked.
And it looked fantastic, and you could see the chat. So those were the two most important things.
And I think that's one of the things
Yeah.
that one of the main things that people in the chat room, and you guys in the chat room can validate. Like, that's what you enjoy about watching our coverage of all these conventions, is that we're completely mobile.
Yes.
Like, we were walking around and people chat. And when we showed Billy Boyd at Dragon Con, he was like, people were responding, and he was like, "Happy birthday, so and so," and
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh!" It was super fun.
True.
What was it, like a conscious decision at Stickam to like, all right, we're the best at the desktop. Let's get on mobile first.
Yeah. you know, it was just the natural transition. You saw what was coming with the iPad and the iPhones and everything, and it was just like, all right, well, we have to put something out with this. It might not be perfect, but it's gonna work.
It was great.
And so far since Stickam went away earlier this year, like no other streaming company has been as generous as Stickam was to not just to us, to like everybody. You know, like Stickam had iPads if you needed them to stream. You know, Stickam had
it wasn't to everybody.
front page feature. Like nobody else had a front page feature. You know, and you just had this whole platform.
Yeah. We definitely try to, you know, help out those that we loved. But like I said, it wasn't everybody. But if you had legitimate quality content, it would be up on there.
Yes, thank you.
And if you're in the area, we would more than happy to have you into our offices. And like you said, you know, let you borrow an iPad if you needed it. Let you borrow whatever you needed to get your stream done.
I was a little self-conscious at first about walking into the office when you were on a long stay on some oil rig somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico.
Look for a new reality show coming soon.
He was gone for months. Me, I was all by my oh sole mio. But Mr. Efren came to my rescue. I did feel a little awkward asking you, but I would come in with this desperate twitch in my eyes. Oh my God, I got to do the show, and I got to set this up. And can I do this? And then you just kind of set me on the path, and then pretty soon I got to doing it okay on my own. But I cannot thank you enough.
It is my pleasure.
I have bought you drinks and buffalo burgers, and
That is correct.
and I have hopefully given my acknowledgement appropriately back to you. But you guys, most of you don't even know that there are heroes working behind the scenes that
make
you haven't
all this
met.
possible.
2 years in waiting, and we were very happy to profile our friend Efren because the past 2 years could never have happened without his endless, boundless generosity. And
this couldn't have happened.
My
It wasn't
God,
just
this
myself.
guy-
There was like I said, the
And his
entire
team.
team of
And his team.
Stickam
Yes.
was very, very conscious about customer service and helping out. Whatever.
Customer service is everything.
Yes.
Like I'm willing to. Everybody is pretty much in agreement. You're willing to put up with any level of quality if the customer service is impeccable.
It's actually Efren,
Yes.
but the way
Yeah.
you're spelling it is really cute. That's really
like
cute.
Zach.
Yeah.
That is an Efron. But mine is Efren.
And
that's
he
it.
he is so well known that he got twitter.com/Efren.
Yeah. So
Like
I
you
am-
are the Efren
I am
of the web.
I am the Efren on the web.
Yes.
I'm safe to say that I'm probably the tech savviest Efren in the world.
And how are you newlyweds doing? How are you guys doing?
Oh yeah, I just got married.
Yeah.
Just got married.
Is it a one ring?
It's no, it isn't a one ring, but it has a little spinning like ring inside.
Oh, that's cool. I love those that have a spinning circle inside. So
but,
cool.
But yeah, it was fantastic. We were on a 3-week honeymoon, which was very fun. Oh, yeah,
I know! Look at how cute they are.
The pictures just went up actually. So if you
They
go on
did?
the website, yeah, you can check out all the pictures. There's a couple pictures of you and Justin on there.
And I was a dancing fool that night.
There was a lot of people being a dancing
I was a
fool that night.
dancing
Just
fool.
These two great folks were a part of my wedding. They came out. They had a great time, I hope.
It's all part of customer service.
It was all part of the customer service. yeah.
experience.
Yes, it was.
We were so awesome at customer service. We invited every one of our users to our weddings.
Congratulations again to you and Miranda.
Thank you.
You guys are a lovely couple, and I'm very, very glad that things have come together so smoothly. It's wonderful. You deserve it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
excellent.
And this
And,
show doesn't happen without Efren, because after Stickam closed, it's not just the streaming platform. Like you still have to have equipment and camera equipment and mics to put something on the air. Like we can use YouTube and live stream and Ustream, but that's just the delivery system. Like the actual production is heavy duty, and that's all Efren, because Efren made it happen. After Stickam, he's like, let's keep you guys on the air. And like this is all yours.
Yeah.
The Oscar party happened because of you. This show still happened. I think this is yours, and this is yours, and this is yours,
Yes.
and that camera's yours,
Look at all
and that
this.
thing is yours.
There's a lot of equipment. This is
Yeah,
Or Tech Zulu, I should say.
It was all part of the customer service. No, like I said, when Cliff and Justin, we saw that they wanted to continue on. Oh, well, I saw that they wanted to continue on with their show and what everything that was happening over at Stickam. I came forward and I told the Stickam folks that I would love to purchase all of their streaming equipment. And so I did. I purchased every single one of the streaming equipment. I kept it all here at Meltdown Comics. And that's how these lovely folks were able to continue to do their stuff. And I'm more than happy to provide it, continue providing it for them. And like I said, it's been fantastic, and I'd love to help you guys out.
And
That's so awesome.
and
So
when
awesome.
when the studio got upgraded, that was pretty much all Efren. I mean, remember when we had the red couch and the green screen
Yeah.
and everything?
Oh my
And
gosh! What is that? Is that me with Chris
Gore?
Gore? That's Mr. Chris Gore, very well known on the IFC channel, and also he's got his show Pod Crash. Originally, he was the founder and creator of Film Threat, the website that was giving some good
That
competition.
distributed our friend's documentary Star Wars. Like,
Yes.
he is geek as they get.
Film Threat, which was giving some good competition to Harry Knowles' Ain't It Cool News in the late 90s when it really mattered.
But we had
Good
this
stuff.
whole, through Efren and the Meltdown and everybody else, they kind of, while I was away, I remember like being so kind of depressed because I was out shooting something in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, and like suddenly you have a green screen studio with studio
All
lights
of a sudden I had-
and
Yeah.
producers and
That's so
technical
much going on.
directors and I'm
Yeah,
like,
what did happen
and
to the
green
couch?
screens.
Everyone's asking,
Well,
we
the
miss the red couch.
The couch is still here, isn't it? It's downstairs.
The couch again. It was all based on the space. We had space to light it and everything like that. And the couch is still here. All the pieces are still here. There's the green screen sitting in the corner.
Oh, there is the
There's
green
the
screen
poles
over
to
there.
the green
Oh my
screen in
gosh,
the
there
rafters.
it is. Those are the pieces
There's
way over out there.
Like, all the pieces are still here.
Should we turn the camera around and just show everybody all this stuff that's up here?
We'll have a behind the scenes episode soon.
We will.
But
Now, I want to see that picture of Chris Gore one more time. He must have been telling he must have been saying something particularly absurd at the time. And I was having my usual reaction to Justin. And this is the reaction I usually have to this guy. But Mr. Gore must have said something.
Probably
I
Star
love
Wars
that.
related.
That is very, very funny.
But it was there's so many different hurdles when you're kind of stepping up. Like we started on on this black MacBook with this webcam right here, and then I got a little
Yeah.
mini DV FireWire camera, and
Yeah.
then we started using the new iMac with the HD
Yeah,
FaceTime
yeah.
camera that at Stickham's offices, and then it just kind of like everything was like a level up, and every time you leveled up, it required more. And when we got the green screen and the red couch, it was suddenly like, oh, this is a comfy red couch. Let's bring in celebrities, and so
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
more We got everyone from the Hollywood show to
Yes.
Dom and Billy showed up.
Yeah, oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
we
And
had a whole studio, but
we had Kevin Eastman, the creator
Kevin
of
Eastman.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
and
Turtles.
John
That was a fun
Kay.
show. Yeah.
Oh
from-
yeah, John Chrisfalusi, so awesome and so talented. Not to mention
Doug Jones. I knew you were going there.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite. You guys think that I have a crush on Richard Armitage? You are incorrect. I have a deep and abiding love of Doug Jones. He is just so cool and so talented, and he is our living Lon Chaney for this generation, for our time. He's so fantastic. I love Doug
But
Jones. so much.
there were technical hurdles every time we kind of upgraded, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was like what when we start using these separate cameras, it's like, how do we read the chat now? You know, that couch is comfortable, but there's no laptop within eyeshot of that.
Yeah.
Like suddenly we
Well,
needed a
the-
huge TV.
Yeah, and then we brought in luckily we had a TV just sitting around at Stickam like in the closet somewhere, and so we brought that one in. Actually, where is that TV still here?
Yeah, it's
'Cause
downstairs.
That's my TV.
It's
now.
still here.
I own that TV.
Everything is here. It's just there.
all around the room.
My personal TV's going out, so I think I might take it.
You take it.
Okay, all right. Now let's switch gears a little bit and talk about Efren. How do you feel about what Peter and his creative team have done so far in creating the Hobbit films?
The Hobbit films. Well,
Because you're a fan of Lord of the Rings.
I am a fan, but I'm not.
You're your
super
casual
fan.
fan.
I'm a
You're
casual fan,
the
yes.
average
I'm
movie-going
average-
public, which I represent with
Yes.
The Hobbit,
Yes.
having
Indeed.
not read the book.
So perhaps we can get some additional value out of a correctly placed question. Instead of asking you about hardcore ephemera and real details, let's just ask you about the general moviegoer's experience.
Okay, well, I so wanted to see it in the theaters
Mm.
because with the they were doing the high frame rate.
HFR.
Yeah, the high frame rate.
Yeah.
I so wanted to see it. I did not get a chance to see it in theaters at high frame rate.
Ooh.
I only saw it as an Amazon rental. At my house.
What?
At your own house?
What?
At my house. Yeah, and so because the way it happened, I wanted to see it. I was traveling a lot during the time.
Yeah, you were,
And
because
so-
we invited you
yeah,
out for the
yeah.
opening night.
So I was traveling, and then by that time I came back, all my friends had already seen it, and then at the time my fiance, now my wife, didn't want to see it, and so I got stuck watching it as a Amazon rental. But I still enjoyed the movie.
Mhm.
I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was well done. But like I said, I'm just an average Joe.
Yeah.
To watch the movie, and I thought it was great
Did
animation.
you see the trailer for the new Hobbit?
Yes, I
The new
did.
teaser trailer.
Yes.
What do you think of that dragon?
I think it'll be cool. I don't know. I'm all about CG. So I love animated characters
Mhm.
and any of that stuff.
So did you think Gollum was improved over the Gollum they did 10, 11 years
Oh
ago?
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, in HFR, that was the best looking thing about that film. I didn't like the daylight shots because it looked like bad video from a TV show.
Yeah.
In the nighttime scenes, or in the dark of caverns or caves, the HFR was particularly crisp, beautiful, and Gollum has never ever looked better.
Yeah.
Never looked better.
I'm sorry I missed it.
Really,
I
really
wanted to see
good
it.
good stuff on HFR, the Gollum. But let me ask one more question. Do you think it's appropriate for Peter and Fran and Philippa to keep the Hobbit trilogy all by itself as a single trilogy for the Hobbit story, or should the filmmakers really bridge all of these films together so that there's 6 films of a piece, as if they were a hexology, as the people at Empire Magazine said? Do you think that's the
think-
best way to steer it,
Yes.
to bring all 6 films together in continuity,
Yes.
and in theme and in tone?
Yes.
You do?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I find it weird when they do these remakes or any of that stuff, and then it's like completely different characters, completely different roles, and then it just seems weird and not connected in any way. If they can keep the story all together and mesh it and make it all make sense for the complete 6 films, I would think that'd be awesome.
So you wouldn't mind if the third and final Hobbit film had a bunch of stuff in it that wasn't even from the Hobbit book, if it was stuff that led into Lord of the Rings telling? Do you think that?
Like I said, I am not.
I'm curious.
I am not the huge Lord of the Ring fan.
So you're not really, you don't really care. You just want to be entertained on the movie.
I want to be entertained in the movie.
Yeah.
And if they make it all make sense,
Yeah.
movie-wise,
Yeah.
I would be happy.
But
Okay,
it's
very
not
good.
it's not
Very
it's
good.
not critical. It's kind of like, look, how many Hulk movies can you make? As long
Yeah.
as they're entertaining, I'll watch Hulk.
Yeah, exactly.
And is that how you feel about?
That's how I feel about the movies.
And that's how most regular movie-going public feel about this.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
now they're all going to be like, "Oh, I hate Efren. I was liking him earlier, but now I hate this guy."
Yes, yes, Tedorus. Yes, I agree with you, Tedorus. He is being quite saucy tonight. Yes, and I want to say
I feel like I'm being normal.
good night, Sirsha, or Shirsa, if I said it wrong.
Saoirse,
Good
Saoirse.
night, and you're leaving the room, but we're going to say thank you for joining us. Oh, did someone say Grand t-shirt? All right, Lieutenant Gothmog wants to
Oh
know
my God.
if we're going to throw down a Grand.
If maybe,
T-shirt.
maybe.
Possibly.
I know I need to sell more than 5 to make it worth my while.
And did you want a Grand out of Efren? Efren, would you give the good ladies a Grand?
What's the Grand?
It's just, you did it. There he did it. Okay, he gave
That's
you a
it.
Grand.
That's all. Yeah,
That was
that's
it.
all you get.
You
What
got
is
you,
it? What is
Saoirse.
it?
That's right, Saoirse. You got it right. Grand is the name of that battering ram in The Return of the King that smashes down the gates of Minas Tirith during the big fight, the big battle at the end of Return of the King.
Yes.
Yes. And there, you got one. You got it. That's all you're gonna get.
That's all you get. But one of the only ways we've been able to kind of pay back the kindness of all this equipment and green screen and red couches is T-shirts. And
Yes. So I am usually the first to wear any One Ring T-shirt because
fresh off the press.
fresh off the presses, and I usually tweet about it. So you can follow me on Twitter at Efren on Twitter, and I'll as soon as it comes off the lines, I will take a picture of it and then tweet it out.
You're usually before even the One Ring announces
Yeah,
it.
before the One Ring announces it,
Yes.
I'm already tweeting it out.
That's great.
But yeah, because I love the designs, and like I like Lord of the Rings. I wouldn't say love here because there are people who really love Lord of the Rings.
That's
But the
relative.
shirts are cool just
Yeah.
for regular people that, oh, that was a good movie. I'll
Yeah.
wear that shirt. That's a cool shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not just like super geek.
Yeah, yeah.
And do people like? Has anyone in your other lines of work saying, "Oh, that's a cool shirt"?
Oh yeah, I get compliments on the shirts all the time, and it's funny because you know, like the designs are very, you know, like the one that you're wearing now, the Beatles one, right?
Right.
Like people look at it and they're like, oh, that's a Beatles shirt, and then they look at it again and they're like, it's a Hobbit. Those are the Hobbits. And then they're like, oh my god, I love this shirt, man. I was like, oh, thank you. It's TheOneRing.net. Check it out.
Yeah, if you guys are going to get shirts, you better get them fast before they get bumped out of production. Like the famous,
Legally or not.
legally or not. Yeah, like
Yeah,
this,
there's many reasons for stuff to disappear.
this spoof of What Can Brown Do For You?
Limited edition.
Super limited edition. I'm going to try to turn around a little bit. Can you guys see that?
Yeah,
Yep.
you can see it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What can Brown do for you? Well, I thought that was one of our best jokes, but when we got the cease
But it
and
wasn't too funny to UPS.
we got that cease and desist letter, and then it was over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, oh, good. Teteris has this shirt. Good for you. Teteris, thank you again for that Tom Bombadil article. We're going to publish that within the hour after our show is over tonight.
So, is there? Obviously, you've at Stickam, you've interfaced with a lot of like live streaming people.
Yeah.
Or rock stars, comedians, potheads, geeks here. You know, what are some of like the craziest stories that
Craziest stories. Well, there is a lot of craziness that happens, but I would have to say it's not a crazy story, but it's really like an eye-opening experience more, or rather, because I've got to travel to a lot of different places. Like I said, when I did the Levi's event in Braddock, Pennsylvania, right? It was like a benefit concert for the city of Braddock, Pennsylvania.
I remember that.
And to go there.
and they did a documentary film about
Yeah,
it.
and to go there and experience it and be able to take in the city of Braddock was just an amazing experience. So I would say just more of the experiences rather than like crazy stories, right? Because there's always crazy stories and there's always people doing ridiculous stuff and partying or doing whatever, but that happens everywhere.
Yeah.
But being able to be a part of these people's communities and these people's lives, it was definitely an experience that I love being part of.
And what when it comes to like live streaming, I mean, now there's like there's a ton of other companies like trying to make it. Why was Stickam the first and like considered just the easiest?
Why was it? Well, I don't know why it was the first because I wasn't there in its inception. but you know, I feel that people gravitated towards Stickam because of the community and the like being the first in the in the industry. The community there, although we did have the craziness going on, but in general, it was a very welcoming community. They would watch your stuff. Sometimes you get the heckler, or, the heckler in there saying retarded stuff about your show or whatever. But for the most part, they would get taken care of by the admin or just one of your moderators that you would assign. And the community there was just willing to accept any type of content, and willing to help and promote. And they would tweet out your stuff when we introduced the ability to tweet and share your stuff on Facebook. And it was just really fun to be a part of it. And I think people felt that. And that's why they gravitated towards using Stickam, because it was very easy to use per se, but there was other stuff that was easy. Like everything's easy to use now. Right.
Now it is.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. Is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter if someone has HD, SD, iPad apps, whatever. It was like the community There was
Yeah.
like as soon as we started from day one, Torn Tuesday had like an audience.
We
Yeah.
did. A
You know.
surprising audience, and you guys are still here. And I'm personally grateful for that. You guys are great.
And so
You guys
that's
are
what
awesome.
it was. And so Stickam was kind of focused on building that community. You guys were only going to events pretty
Yeah.
much that had, you know, like the Vans Warped Tour is a community.
Oh, yeah.
The One Ring events were communities of fans of different things
Yeah.
doing and so do you think that was one of the reasons Stickam was just kind of popular with the cool crowd because
With the cool crowd. Yeah, you know, and there's you know, there's other reasons why you know, things didn't work out the way they did, or things worked out the way they did. But I felt that you know, Stickam had a great community and had a great front-facing people behind it, right? Like you know, like Andy and Aaron and Eric and all these guys who helped a lot of the Stickam community out with their productions or with their lives or anything like that.
and most of the other guys kind of got scooped up by all the competitors to Stickam pretty
Well-
quick, and you decided I'm going it alone. I'm going it solo. I'm building my own business.
Well, even and that was the great thing about Stickam. Like I've been working with Stickam for almost 5 years. I was working with Stickam for almost 5 years, and then I officially worked for Stickam the last 2 years. And I've always had my own company. It's TechZulu.com. We're a technology news company, and they gave me my first shot at live streaming, right? So when we first started, we were very heavily focused on video. TechZulu, I'm talking about, and we wanted to start doing live streaming, and we were using everybody's platform. And then just like you guys, you know, we started doing a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden we get reached out, you know, by one of the moderators, say, hey, you guys are doing some cool stuff. Like, you guys should let's feature you on the homepage, and we're like, okay. and so like I said, they were our first you know, a supporter behind us and featuring us on the homepage and doing stuff like that. And so I always loved like that customer service, and whenever we needed anything or needed help with anything, they were there to help us out.
So you started just as anybody else, turned on the webcam and started streaming stuff, and then you caught the attention of the people that run the website, and that just kind of the conversation built, and then you ended up working for them.
Yeah.
How funny.
That's kind of cool. Like
That's
that
very cool.
that is like everybody's dream. Like imagine like kind of like what's happening with the Happy Hobbits. Like here's some fangirls in the middle of nowhere, and suddenly they're getting invited to the set.
Yeah.
You know, and who knows where that could lead into employment? Who knows? But it's just like aware. You know, someone became aware of you just doing your own thing, and then said, "Oh, well, like, just come work with us. Like,
Yeah.
let's make this cool together."
Yeah, and like I was saying, like the amazing thing that allowed me to do that while I was at Stickam was that they allowed me to continue what I was doing, right? Like I have an amazing team on the TechZulu side of things. You know, that it wasn't just me alone doing a lot of this stuff, but I was able to you know, manage my time, and Stickam was more than generous on allowing me to continue doing what I wanted to do on my personal side of things, and they were very supportive. So just that very supportive nature, like I said, going back to just it's about the community.
So where does
Very cool.
live streaming go from here? I feel like with the TheOneRing and Stickam and TechZulu and you personally we've gone everywhere. We've done it. We've driven across the country. We've live streamed from the most remote locations. I mean, we even got Mount Rushmore lighting ceremony in the middle of a national park where there's no reception.
We did.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel where do we go from here besides 200 more episodes?
Mars.
Yeah.
Mars. We're going to Mars next.
Well, there's a lot of stuff happening in like live and video right now online, and you know, right now it's prime time for anybody doing any type of video online, whether it be live or just video or recorded stuff, to really be ramping it up. And you should definitely be out there putting your guys' stuff out there, because there are brands and there are opportunities that are looking for it now, right? It's a thing. People know about it. People know about YouTube. People know about Ustream. People know about everything now. and it's up to you guys whether if you want to be a part of it or.
So
not.
for people that maybe just want to start their own show, kind of like we did, just turn on their webcam in their thing, whether maybe they have a bunch of collectibles and they want to talk collectibles with other fans. Do you have any tips on like how to start a show and get noticed?
Yeah, if your laptop has a camera on it, turn it on.
And just start doing.
Just start doing it.
That's it. You don't need the lower thirds and the pretty we didn't have lower thirds for ages. You
Yeah,
know.
That's true.
Um,
That's true.
So, how do you get noticed? Is it just start doing?
Yeah, just start doing it. You know, if you start focusing on trying to sell your stuff and doing whatever, then you're not doing it for the love of doing it, right? It's not your passion. You're trying to do it to gain something. There's some people who can make that work. Usually they have a lot of backing and funding behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you that don't have that funding or backing, do what you love, and you know things will happen. It may happen later rather than sooner, but it'll eventually happen if you continue with it.
Mm-hmm.
And just if you're in video, your phones, like almost everybody's phones, whether it be an iPhone or an Android phone, Androids are very affordable. They're all in HD. Shoot your stuff in HD on your Android phone and put it up on YouTube. Everything's doable.
Just start doing. I mean, again, Happy Hobbits are a great example. They were viewers of the show for many months. Remember, they sent us fan letters, and then they said, "Hey, we're coming to LA. We'd love to meet you." Just like some of you in the chat room are saying, "I'd love to meet Cliff." What about me? But Stargate Geek, I still love you. But these girls, like, came to and you interviewed them for the first time. You was like, I don't know what to talk about with these girls. Like, I have no idea who they are other than fans. And fast forward to they just started doing their own little YouTube.
Yeah.
They just started it. Like, just go. I have a
Yeah.
camera. I have a little laptop. Go. And now they're like they're getting invites and we're not.
Yeah.
And
You guys
that
gotta do more reaction videos.
I know, we need to do a reaction. Actually, Stickam was the one that made it possible to do a 2-hour frame-by-frame analysis of the first Hobbit trailer. Remember when we did a 2-hour
we did a
live?
2-hour frame-by-frame, and a lot of people were saying why these guys are doing a 2-hour analysis
on a 2-minute trailer.
On a 2-minute trailer is nuts, but I'm compulsively watching it. That's what a lot of people said in their comments, but that was such an amazing thing to be able to do that. Oh, look, everyone says, I'd like to meet you, and I Stole the One Ring said, I said you, Justin. Hey, I Stole the One Ring, who is in California, and of course Tedoras, who is here in the Los Angeles metropolitan area. You guys should come around to the big Bilbo Baggins birthday picnic next month.
Griffith Park.
Next month in Griffith Park. Oh, but before September, we have a thing happening at the end of August, don't we?
The Dragon Con.
It's a pledge drive. Could I see that? You don't want to show that?
Nope. That's a secret. Top secret.
That's a super secret surprise.
Top secret.
But I wanted to show everyone.
Top secret.
I wanted to show you guys.
Don't even hint at it.
Oh, sugar.
Don't even hint at it.
Well, I saw it.
Sugar.
So he saw it because this show happens because of him. So if you want to help us out and share the love, please follow Efren, Efren, on Twitter. TechZulu.
Oh, look.
Is on Twitter and Facebook and techzulu.com.
Yeah.
What else?
We're everywhere. It's basically /Efren and /TechZulu.
That's him.
Yeah.
When you see TechZulu, the red and black logo, it's him. CEO right there. And it's the least we could do to bring people into your world, into Efren's world, because you've been so helpful keeping the One Ring show going.
Well, it's like I said, it's been my pleasure, and from now and here on out, like whatever you guys need, and if I can provide it, I will more than happy to.
Excellent.
Cool people. You don't have to be
cool.
a hardcore fan. Did you even know the One Ring existed before us?
No.
So
how about that?
so being cool people and customer service and everything, and builds relationships, and now here we are drunk at his wedding, Cliff dancing like he does.
I love Miranda. She's adorable, and you're a very lucky man. You're a lucky man.
I think so.
She's a lovely, lovely woman, and I love dancing with her and all your friends. And you picked a great spot for a wedding
Culver Hotel
party.
Culver Hotel.
Oh.
You know what we didn't figure out until the very end is that the bar was open bar all night. Like when we originally planned it out, we were only supposed to have an open bar for like the first hour or two.
Right.
And I guess the Culver loved us so much that they left it open all night.
The bartenders were serving up to a certain point, and then I think in the very last hour, that was when they switched to cash bar. But that was like
that's when they
much
Googled
later.
your name
Yeah,
and
much
said, "Oh, we
later
got to
than
take
that.
care of this guy." But the 2 years of doing this, it started in a parking lot at Best Buy, and we've with the Balrog,
Balrog showgirl,
and we've been all around the country twice. We've done this show from 10 different locations, and we're still doing it. And it's basically this triad of people that
guys. This is really it. This is Team Torn Tuesday.
This is Team Torn Tuesday.
Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and for better or for worse, the center point of Tolkien fandom is you guys. You guys keep coming. You have questions. You have enthusiasm. You have excitement. You have anger.
And it's the only reason we do it.
You have all of it. You have all that dynamism, and you bring it to our show live, and that's really what keeps it going and keeps it fresh and interesting for all of us.
There's
And
no money exchanging
Never.
anywhere.
Never.
This is it. It's just us and our toys
Yes.
and you guys. And so as we want to leave you with this screenshot, because this is why we do it, because the fans generate this reaction from people.
What is this?
And so until next week, this is Torn Tuesday.
Oh wait, before we sign off, should we remind you guys, not only is this our 2-year anniversary, but next week...
Secrets.
Next
Secret!
week
Secret!
is- I didn't say who.
Secret!
I was just going to say...
No, I don't want... No.
I can't even say the magic number.
Nope.
Look, The Simpsons
No.
hit that milestone, and they advertised it for weeks
I
ahead
know.
of time.
No.
I can't even mention it?
Nope.
Okay, guess what? Next week is
We
going to
got
be
so
fun.
many. We got so
It's
many.
going to be fun.
Exciting things over the next couple weeks.
I don't remember signing a non-disclosure agreement, but evidently this claptrap has to stop. I love you guys. Thank you for joining our show.
Follow Efren, follow TechZulu, follow QuickBeam,
QuickBeam2000 on Twitter
and TheOneRing.net.
and on Instagram.
And Slaveboy Justin.
Actually,
and Justin's Big Idea.
Justin's Big Idea at Twitter. We'll see you guys next week with more fun and surprises. Signing off for now. Thank you and good night.
And the mics are still live.
And the mics are still live, so we
can
could make
chat.
some jokes.
Yeah, we can
You
make
mean
some
I can't even mention the
No.
new milestone?
No.
No.
That was
Oh,
fun, guys.
lordy.
Thanks for having me on.
Ha ha.
Yeah, that was fun. Thank you.
So what's the deal here?
The Keeper of Secrets. Somebody suggested I take a 6-second Vine video of that.
You should.
No, not yet.
I can't?
Are you guys gonna
Oh,
be-
no,
are you guys gonna be
really, I
figuring this
can't?
out?